There we go. Don't have missiles. Fuck. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are back in War Thunder, and I was able to get my 40 boxes today, plus 20 more from basically setting up tomorrow. Started playing, early morning, around about 10 AM, finished around about 5, and was able to, amass around about 40 boxes overall, with a few bomber games later on. Basically, what I did is I spaded the IKV 91-105, so got that finished. Actually really enjoyed this vehicle, highly recommend it. It's also got a really good lineup around it with the STRV 104, the VEEK, even though the VEEK is a little bit temperamental with its HEVT, and also the STRV 103C if you want to have, let's call it an interesting experience, and also the PVR-BV if you feel like it, and some pretty cool jets as well. This vehicle, I think I went plus 30 in it overall, over the whole spade. Yeah, plus 30, 60% win rate. Like, what can you do wrong, right? Like, that's some pretty nice stats, and it felt really nice to play as well. Would highly recommend this. Only issue with it is the way that its armor is set up on its turret here. It causes like the gun to bounce when you look forward, and I think it's because it's getting caught on this, maybe the driver's hatch, and just bouncing, even though it is fully stabilized. Everything else about it is really nice. Good optics, good laser, good APF SDS, good scouting, all of the good stuff. So would really recommend this new vehicle, which is in the Swedish tech tree. After that, we played a bunch of the Javelin, weirdly enough, and I played it with Tazzy today. And, I really enjoy playing with Tazzy. We've played together for years when it comes to War Thunder. And one of the things is he's a very good pilot, and we work incredibly well together. So we were actually able to make this thing work. I wouldn't recommend playing this solo, but if you are with like an individual who, you can work together really well, it works really good in pairs. One person setting them up, the other one missiling them or shooting them. And right now in the Javi, we are plus 11, even though it's a negative win rate, plus 11 in this thing, which in my opinion is a struggle machine by itself. I'm really, really happy with. Also at the same time, we unlocked the Harrier GR3, which was really nice, so got that bought, and nearly have the wings repair for this thing. The Javelin modifications are crazy expensive, by the way, and this is because this is a 390,000 vehicle. And also, it should be dropped to 250,000, so its mods get reduced, but also it doesn't have a ton of mods, so each individual mod is worth so much modification cost, which is a big issue with it. The Sea Venom has the same issue. I've been trying to spade this thing for ages, you can see I'm getting there, but the G-Suit is 47,000 RP, and it's just a pain. And then when you have a look at the Harrier, the Harrier for its AIM-9Gs, it's only 16k plus 12k. That's less than the Javelin to get missiles. Like, no wonder people switch to playing stuff like the Harrier over stuff such as the Javelin, even with its, just because it's just easier to grind through. The Scimitar I was thinking about doing, but it has, once again, Javelin issues. Look at this, 31,000 modification cost. This is why I want rank 7 into the game. So a bunch of these vehicles here can get dropped in modification costs, so they actually become viable to spade, instead of just being struggle snuggles for the whole time. Also, I got a special test to destroy enemy bases, so I started spading out the Canberra. I got a few modifications on it, will finish it eventually, and also I did spade the G8N1, so finished that one off really quick, basically just getting the last few modifications. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the progress of today. It was quite chill, and I think moving it around, so instead of being instead of having to grind through the night, actually going ahead and doing it during the day, I think was the correct decision. So I'm really happy with that. Obviously with 60 boxes, this is going to give us a ton of materials. One of the things I am going to do though, is I'm going to start equaling out the use of the schemes. This is basically just because of the fact that with the schemes, it seems like you use most of the resources balanced across the board. So even though you get a lot of schemes straight away, why is this screwing up? I think it's because it's moving slightly. There we go. I think it's basically what's happening with them is because you get so many of them, but you use so many of them, it just equals out across the board. So maybe going for the balanced option is the best option. I also nearly have enough rounds to get 2 of the ammo things. I already have 1 of them, so hopefully we have enough materials to be able to go straight through and create another machine. We are on track to get all of the 4. Obviously it depends, as I said before, what happens in the week, if they announce some other stuff that we have to do. And with the April Fool's events coming to the end, obviously the Warfare 2077 and the Tailspin event, it does mean that we just go back to general grinding. I was also able to get a challenge done on the Battle Pass, so we're nearly level 100 in that now, which is great. You know, I'm very happy with that fact. And I think I'm at like 152 boxes now overall when it comes to the events, so we're nearly halfway there. You know, 200 is the goal, to get halfway. I'm going to try and get as, you know, I want to get the 400 boxes. You know, it's pretty much as simple as that. If I don't get the 400 boxes, then, you know, at least we'll get as close as we can and then see what we get out of the event. Also, I want to see if you get extra parts, you know, across the board. I do have a ton of materials and not as many of these schemes, so maybe that balances out across the board, but we're gonna have to see going forward. The main thing to understand when it comes to this stuff is I'm definitely going to be finishing my first build. When it comes to everything going on, I'm going to use just less of the schemes for the last few, and then I'm going to use the balanced one across the board, because you can see like the amount of stuff I have across is pretty equal, so the balanced one probably makes sense. So yeah, I mean, at this point in the build, I'm probably at about 1.5 vehicles right now, so I'm gonna just get the SU-76D and just have it as, you know, the couponable vehicle, finish it off. I would like to thank all of you guys, you know, with your comments, you know, letting me know your progress on the event, and also everybody in the streams just kind of chatting and doing it together. One of the problems with this event is it actually kind of puts forward the idea that it is better to play solo instead of playing with other people. So we have to find ways of still staying social while doing these things. And I think through the streams and through Discords and through general chats, that is the way to go when it comes to it. So the plan for tomorrow is to get the other 20 boxes from the day, because I do need to finish that off, and basically craft, see where I get to with it, and hopefully get to a decent amount. I also want to get my special test done, so I have 3 left technically because I got 1 going. I'm going to continue getting onto the daily tasks, which will reset in around about an hour. And maybe we'll see if they cover any news or anything like that when it comes to War Thunder, and then we can have a look. I tell you what, one thing that this event has taught me, that it is still very fun spading vehicles. That's what I enjoy a lot in War Thunder, and this event does give me an opportunity to spade stuff that generally, you know, I wouldn't really touch, stuff like Canberra's B57s, G8s and things like this nature, IL-28s and H5s, so I've got to do the TU-14 as well. So I'm very happy with that fact, but at the same time, you know, I probably would get it done anyway without an event like this. I'm still very annoyed at the event because of the fact that you can only get 2 vehicles. I think that's very scummy, and I will always talk against that idea. I think you should be able to get all the vehicles in this event, and also at the same time they should be a little bit more transparent about all of these things instead of keeping it under wraps and not really mentioning it. I would like to see a justification for this idea instead of what I see a lot, which is, well, you know, you get a lot of free vehicles the year anyway with like all the other events. It would be nice to see their reasoning behind the idea of why, you can't get all the vehicles. But a lot more positive day today, streaming from the morning to the afternoon, working in the evening and going to the gym. Think I'm going to keep that going for the next week or so we keep on track. And I just want to say thank you for everything. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Conte Baraka, Trigger Hippie, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Hosest Kishot, Hans, Bareen, and Samuel Schlick for supporting the channel.